briefly back to the working on getting the crusher and dozer, which are essential for maintaining our roads and infrastructure. Additionally, we'll be discussing long-term funding solutions and new ideas to better support Ketron County, which goes along with what Buster was saying with the PILT funds, the SRS funding, stuff like that. Like, we're the hugest county in the state with the littlest population of people. Our tax base is so small. We do not have the money to maintain the roads and stuff that we need without additional support. The other thing that's been going on, which is a big concern, and I don't know if my fellow commissioners are aware of all this, but there's basically three, you wouldn't really call them rivers, but creeks and ditches, which is the San Francisco, Dillman Creek, and Romero Creek. Every one of them are being dammed up. And it's a big issue whether I'm hearing, and we've got to get it all detailed, but you got Romero Creek dammed up right there on the Arizona border. There's a pond bigger than Luna Lake on this man's private property, which if it gets a little bit low, it's fine. We get a little bit of snow, he collects everything, and it's not coming into Trout Creek. The San Francisco's not flowing, which is gonna affect your district big. And so we really need to look into that and see, because you know, Luna hasn't had irrigation for a good year. This year we're not gonna get any with the lake being dry, and so when I get back from DC, I really wanna.
It's on the Arizona side?
So Romero Lake, where he's got it dammed up is right on the New Mexico, it's in New Mexico. He does not have the water rights for it. And it's just been left, and there's been phone calls to the Corps of Engineers and state offices and stuff, but so far there's nothing that's been being done. And then you take the property on the Double J that dams up Dillman Creek, everybody's got these little ponds, and then there is one in Arizona damming up a lot of the San Francisco flowing, and without the proper water rights, I feel. So that's a huge issue for our county.
The one in Arizona, is that on the other side of the Continental Divide?
The one in Alpine?
No, if it still flows this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Mr. Nail knows a lot about that too, but anyway, so we have got, I don't know how Adrian is with water rights and stuff like that, but we do need to look into this because it's a concern for our county. The other thing I want to look into is, I'm sure everybody knows, but on Highway 180, just coming into Luna on that straight stretch, it's a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit on that straight stretch where everyone goes 70.
Yeah.
I really feel like that could be lifted and be the normal speed, because it's just been a speed trap, and it hits everybody blindly. They have no idea they're even speeding. And so I've done a little bit of research, and it was probably about 25 years ago. They changed the speed because there was so many elk crossing and lots of accidents. But now there's not the elk that there was crossing through there, and I feel like Deb's been helping me get a hold of DOT and see if we can lift that to the normal speed. The other thing, I met with the Forest Service Ranger and Reserve to discuss coordination and management issues, including the slash pits and the illegal dumping that's been going on. We've got to stay on that because we cannot lose our slash pits. Also been in communication, well, I talked about that, the Sheriff's Office, regarding the enforcement options. The other thing that's gonna be big that's happening is the Forest Service is gonna be redoing the 141. And so there's gonna be closures. They're not gonna just shut it off like the bridge where the road is completely shut off, but there's gonna be closures during the day, during the weeks, and then open it at like 6 p.m. and then close it again at like 7 the next morning. But we've gotta support the law enforcement and the Forest Service in doing that, because 141 would be amazing to get redone.
Yes, it would.
And that's gonna start here real soon. The other thing, I've met with the Luna Community Center president on planning on the new community center, and there's lots of big things happen with that. And then I would just like to recognize and thank our commission office and county staff, the grants, finance finance, especially our road crews, their work does not go unnoticed. The improvements, this is for you, Mark, improvements on Forest Road 19 is looking really good. Some of those narrow ways, I drive that road a lot, but it's getting widened and looking a lot good. And then I'll continue working to bring resources, solutions, and strong representation to Catherine County. So that is my report. Aiden?
Okay, thank you, Audrey. I tend to say this every meeting, so many of you have heard it, but for those that haven't been here often, we have these long commissioner reports because this is the only time we can talk to each other, right? I just now learned about what's happening on the San Francisco, and I mean, I've got a ton of experience with wild and scenic and know the water laws, so I'll definitely get together with you, Adrian, and we'll write some letters to the state engineer and get action.
We need to get with Howard Hutchison. He knows a lot about it, and we've got to get something fixed immediately.
Oh, yeah.
With our,
I can't imagine, if I would dam up Big Dry
yeah.
and have a big pond on my home, I would be in prison. I mean, I can't imagine how these people can do this.
You should take a drive up to Merrill Lake. It's beautiful. It's a giant.
Merrill Lake.
It's like a giant lake, and like the guy lives in Tucson that owns it, and comes up a couple times a year. It's beautiful, but then you look below in Luna, and we're like, nobody has ponds in their irrigation. Nothing. We have nothing. So something's got to be fixed.
Hayden, right before you get started on your report, could I make one more comment?
Sure. Yeah.
And Sherry, I just want to be on record for saying, because I've had multiple people ask me about like our trip back to Washington and why we aren't putting more money into either a delegate or somebody to lobby for Catherine County up at the state. And under the political climate that we have right now, the governor has shown no propensity at all to help out or assist Catherine County. And so that is the basic reason why we've had much better luck going to a federal level for assistance for Catherine County than we have a state level. So I just wanted to be on record for that.
I'm gonna say one more thing too,
Sure.
that sometimes gets unnoticed. So as you all know, we have a lobbyist in DC that the county pays $60,000 a year for. He is very well worth his time. We would not have the meetings set up with these people, like with Brian Nesbitt and the chief of the Forest Service, if we did not have him. And anyhow, we're really lucky to have Alan Friedmeier.
Yeah, we are. And, all the work that we have put into legislation in Santa Fe over the years that pays us no dividends whatsoever because of the political climate in Santa Fe, which is in opposition to what we're looking for. We've certainly found that our successes are in DC, working with other states, working with other committees.
Hayden, they're talking about taking 3 or 4 counties on the eastern side of the state and moving them and claiming Texas. I'm just saying, Catherine County, can you take us too?
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud? I want to go too.
Oh man. Well, so anyway, I'm going to try to. I've got to tell you, this has been one of those months that has been extraordinarily busy for being a commissioner. To ramp into the wolf situation, you can see all 3 of us are working on it. I was involved in generating press releases to talk about the reasoning for the kill permits that we have. There was opposition out there making it sound like our kill permits were for 20 wolves, or packs, where we were wiping out the wolves. So anyway, we did generate press releases to state the truth about why we have those kill permits. Those responses we had specific language for social media, specific counties that are involved, other counties that are anticipated to be involved with the wolf issues here in the future. and local news and statewide news to let everybody know the facts about what's happening out here. We also have on the agenda a report that all three of us are going to sign today that will go out to all the primary news channels and some national news channels. So a lot of activity on the Wolves. Mangus Lane. Many of you are here to discuss Mangus Lane, and I appreciate you being here. I did have on-site visits with concerned individuals that are in opposition in the general upgrades, understood why they were in opposition. We also had county personnel with us. Had 2 meetings with individuals at Stantec to better understand the design details. Numerous phone calls and personal meetings with property owners. I've met with some of you. Going to be worth our while. There is a mine cleanup that's happening just below Quamato. It's called the Challenge Venture Mill. And this is a silver mill that years ago was running using chemicals similar to arsenic in producing the silver. That is being cleaned up right now. It's very important as far as I'm concerned for the environment. Our road department is assisting in that, and I help coordinate the proper timing for when we can be moving large pieces of equipment down that road off of Muggione. Obviously involved in the Fair Board and what was happening there. I had a lot of discussions with the Fair Board members that had resigned. I'm very proud of the new board members that stepped up to take those positions. I did make comments and suggestions to the board while letting them know that they are just comments and suggestions. So, very busy month. That's
All right, thank you. So we'll move into, do you have anything more to say, Buster? We'll move into the Forest Service report, and we've got Randall.
I'll finish off my report. And I've already talked about the fire situation and all that. Just a few other things to add, commissioners, is the booth timber, this timber sales, since you brought the topic, it was one of our topics that we usually cover. The booth timber sale is currently operating right now. I'm not sure the percentage completed on it yet, but I know it's been going. The Clark timber sale will have an oral bid April 22nd at 1 p.m. at Reserve. So people that are wanting trees, please tell them to come and to the bid meeting.
They'll be there.
Last time we had 2 people show up for our bid and 1 did not bid. So we encourage anybody and everybody to come to these bid meetings. So
yeah, the problem is the general size of the trees that are being cut. Now I understand Clark has some large trees that are being removed. That's important.
it does.
Yeah.
And it's south of 180. They're up against the state line, west of Luna.
Yeah.
So, and it's very, very viable to people. The Beal timber sale is marked. We might put it for sale this calendar year, but due to lack of personnel as well, it may be the beginning of next calendar year. It's just where our timber sale administrator, we're actually borrowing from the Apache Sick Ridge right now. The individual that was our timber sale administrator out of Reserve here retired. So, other than that, the other thing that I was gonna report was Romero Bridge. You guys talked a little bit about some of the creeks and but Romero Bridge was one of the ones that was submitted with the Federal Highway Administration to be replaced. They did Negrito Bridge first, the Negrito, and then Romero will be due to hopefully start construction this year. But we do have a good reroute on that one, so there is ways for the public to get around, and it won't be where they can't get through. But we have a lot more road accesses to shuttle people around, and I believe our road department is currently blading all the roads that will be used during the reroute at this time, so that they'll be hopefully good roads by that time. Now, if the construction doesn't start till October, November, December, we all know hunting season starts and we'll have a lot more traffic, so. But we do have a plan in place to get around that one. End of report, unless there's questions from.
When you starting on 141?
141, I'm not 100% sure, that's on the reserve district, and
She thinks like April, May.
Yeah.
so
They want to
that's
have
the
it
paving.
completed by September.
And the process, I do remember a little bit about that, where they did want to complete the bridge first before the paving, because it wouldn't, if we'd have done the other way around, it wouldn't have, it would have just destroyed the road.
How many miles are they gonna do?
I think that's probably,
9.
is it 9 miles to the top, and then they're gonna, if they have money left, then they're gonna keep going and try to,
Come down this way?
well, no, they're gonna do from, like this, well, right where the road starts, where it goes up, the curve,
Yeah.
from there to the top.
From the
Right,
cattle
sheep
guard up to
basin.
the top of sheep basin.
And then if they have money left, they're gonna go ahead and
Oh, past
Take
the
out-
cattle guard?
take out the old,
Oh.
pavement and just put dirt, crush it, whatever. And then,
Good.
wasn't there, we had the road here at the bottom that the county was gonna fix, but I think we're gonna wait till they're done to fix our
That's
part,
correct.
so we don't tear
Started.
our new part up.
In the near future, right after that, right, Vince?
That's correct.
But I think things are looking up.
It'd be super highways off the
70-mile-an-hour speed limit.
That's the
Gotta fix it so we can get to those fires.
What you were saying.
So that's the portion of this. So, thanks, Randall.
Sure, thank you.
So
Thanks,
we'll
Ray.
move into Deb's manager report.
Okay, so I was requested, I read most of it. I do unfortunately have 2 pages, but I will, for brevity, cut out the stuff that the commission has already discussed. So, just as I'm sure most of you are aware, we have had multiple fatalities on 180 above Glenwood, right? So, these types of responses are hard on our first responders. They are pretty much the labor that has to go down to that vehicle. These are over the embankment calls. The first responders are the ones that are also involved in the patient care. So it's really trying. It's hard on them physically and mentally. They also have to get to the patient no matter where they are. So our volunteer fire and EMS staff really deserves our appreciation. The airport pavement project is supposed to begin this week. So the airport runway is closed. However, the landing zone for the air ambulance remains open. We might have to fluctuate its location occasionally depending on where they are in that pavement removal process. And we have notified the Forest Service that that airport remains available for their emergency operations. So, the Clamato Community Center is moving. So that thing is moving along well. We've installed the electrical infrastructure. And we've been issued a blue tag from CID, so that's huge. The electrical should be put in service, I wanna say, within the next month. We attended the Mutual Water Company meeting Thursday. We had hoped to use the on-site well, but there's so many requirements for the state for a public water system that it was actually cheaper for the county in the long run to tie into the Mutual Water Company. I'm gonna cut out that. The county clerk, District 30 fire chief, and I met with the voters in Horse Mountain. So that meeting, I feel, was successful. I don't know how Sherry
It
feels.
was, yeah.
The clerk, the
pictures.
fire chief, and the constituents
They're
were
really
able
good.
to
There's
come,
room.
there you go.
Yeah, it's plenty of room that we can use to vote in.
So,
That's
I
really
think as a group, everybody collaborated and brainstormed to a solution. So I think, and I feel that the people of Horse Mountain appreciated, we made the effort to come out and talk to them. So I think it went well. I'll cut out the Fair Board. So the Catherine County Health Council meetings are on the third Wednesday of the month. That group has been very active in getting the medical alert devices. What are those called? Medical, and I want, so they are, so Don Lincoln out of Hightown Fire has been spearheading that program. He's installed 56 in the last 3 months, so that's huge. Maybe you can kind of mention what they, because it prevents, it's kind of like I've fallen and I can't get up, but a bit.
And it automatically calls, so if they wear the little monitor around their neck, so if he'll go get them set up, whether they have a landline or cell service, and if they fall, they can click the button and it'll call the sheriff's office, and the sheriff's office will automatically know if they need assistance.
And Don's reported that he's had about 5 or 6 people that have actually had to use it. So the fact that it came almost an immediate need, so that was great. I continue to attend the meetings for the Luna Community Center. Their projects are in the design phase, but the support from the county commission office, I think, helps that process along. We also have, Mark, you want to speak on the cattle guard replacement project. That is going out to bid, I believe, in the next few weeks, right, Vince?
I'm working on the
Yeah.
invitation for bids, yes.
And we also have our York Ranch Road goes out to bid March 20th. Both are NMDOT funded projects.
There'll be 16 cattle guards that'll be replaced throughout all 3 districts.
And they're in need.
So, Mark, sorry, I don't wanna interrupt. I'll wait.
No, ask.
So on those that are gonna be replaced, those 16, if there's any of those that are viable and stuff, maybe to utilize at another place, those will be the counties, right?
Right,
Will we get those?
right.
Okay,
Any replacement, yeah. In county will have.
perfect, all right.
All right, the meat and potatoes of my report here. So there's currently a petition circulating requesting the commission consider my termination. The noted deficiencies mentioned include failure to fulfill core management responsibilities. So allowing the previous treasurer to transfer funds to New Mexico State Treasury for investments in the Treasury pool. Now, my response to this claim is the previous treasurer was attempting to increase the rate of investments, and I was the second signature that allowed that to move forward. So, okay, the next claim is human resources, the county manager's responsibility, but other staff is doing it. Human resource duties were initially structured as part of the responsibilities assigned to the newly created grants administrator position. In February 25, the commission elected to remove those functions from the position. While serving as interim county manager at the time, I offered to assume those responsibilities without an increase in compensation. In August of 25, the HR function was consolidated with accounts payable and payroll, and the employee assigned to those duties received an $8,000 salary adjustment. Grant management has been transferred to a third-party contractor. So the county maintained a temporary staffing contract with its Quest from July of 25 through January of 26 for a position scheduled at a 25-hour per week. That contract has concluded. Prior to the It's Quest arrangement, the position was filled as part-time, limited-term role held by Donna Barnes, and prior to that, it was briefly staffed as a full-time position by Joyce Laney for approximately 2 months. At present, the commission office is covering the responsibilities. We do have a casual employee, and then other staff is covering some of the in-office responsibilities associated with that position while it's being evaluated as part of the potential departmental organization reorg that is on the agenda today. The creation of the grant committee that the petitioners feel is the county manager's job to determine grant viability. So this one, my response, the creation of the grant committee has been discussed several months earlier with both the finance director and myself, and it was also requested by the treasurer. Historically, the grant application process involved only the county manager and the department seeking the grant. As a result, there was often very little discussion regarding how the grants would be funded. Most of Catron County's grants are reimbursable grants, meaning the funding source must be available to cover the expenses until the reimbursement is received. In the past, if a grant opportunity appeared beneficial, the county would generally pursue it without a full evaluation of the financial implications. This practice has contributed to the county's current challenges with expiring grants and insufficient available funds. Establishing the grant committee will allow grant opportunities to be reviewed and for financial feasibility. Long-standing community center projects, including Quemado, Luna, and Glenwood, have been demoted as a priority, while the vehicle charging station in Pytown has been elevated. So the Quemado Community Center, which I believe Patty can speak to, remains the county's highest priority, and a significant portion of my weekly time is devoted to ensuring that project continues to move forward. The grants associated with Glenwood and Luna Community Centers are not in danger of expiring and therefore are not being prioritized at this time, particularly given the limited seed funding available to initiate those projects. The Pytown Charger project also has limited seed funding and is scheduled to expire June 30th. As with the Quemado project, progress on that effort proceeds as the reimbursements are received from NMDOT. Divided leadership and dual roles. The petition advises that both Catron County and the CLA are suffering as one person cannot adequately administer to both functions. Since Catron County assumed the fiscal agent role, payment processing times have improved significantly for CLA. Payments to the affected producers are now typically issued in less than 2 weeks. In 2025, CLA distributed more than $1 million to our affected producers, compared to $275,000 in 2024. The obstruction of county progress. Reports by the Cowboy Clinic on their difficulties working relationship with the county manager. This concern is largely a matter of perception. I have assisted the Catron County Cowboy Clinic by coordinating meetings with legal counsel to discuss contract timelines and availability of funding. The issue regarding the x-ray machine was not raised until the Health Council meeting January 20th, after which it was placed on the agenda at the next commission meeting on February 11th. The commissioners agreed to use previously allocated clinic improvement funds to remove the equipment. The nuisance ordinance is also mentioned in the petition. For clarification, the nuisance ordinance that appeared in the August 2025 commission agenda was drafted by Catron County Legal Counsel at my request as a potential option to address the multiple nuisance-related complaints that had been raised from various parts of the county. The purpose of commission meetings is to allow matters affecting the public to be considered in an open forum. When the commission office receives repeated concerns from residents across the county, it is appropriate to bring those issues forward for discussion. The proposed ordinance was presented to the commission for consideration, and the commission ultimately chose not to support adopting an ordinance. That is the process at work. The county manager's responsibility is to ensure that concerns raised by residents are presented for consideration, rather than limiting discussions to only matters that staff may personally support. Presenting those concerns to the commission allows the elected body to evaluate them and make the final decision on behalf of the county. But short version is, I'm always available if anybody has a question on why something is the way it is. There's always a reason. It's not because, hey, this was Deb's great idea. But it's brought to you guys for discussion, and then I would request, as you guys always do, that if you are aware of a concern, please let me try to reach out to those people to address it. But I wanted to give it to the record of this petition. That's my report.
Thank you.
I got a comment. I stated this last month, and I'm gonna state it again. I support you as county manager, Deb. Obviously, you've got a lot of challenges with the learning curve that you're in. But 100% of the time, if I have a question on decisions you've made, I call you, you explain it to me, and I do not see any malice, any intent, only good intent for the county. And I want to put that on record.
I agree with Hayden. I think that you're doing a great job. I think your work ethic is amazing. I know that there's about every day you're in the office by 7 and don't leave till 6. And whenever I have an issue, you're always available by the phone or you will call me back. And I think the county's moving in positive directions, and so fully support you staying as the manager.
I as well. No, thank you, Deb, and, no, that's the one thing that we would all ask for is communication from the public, because, when there is not communication avenues, that's when stuff gets posted on social media and things that might not necessarily be 100% accurate.
Okay. With that, we are gonna go in, well, first of all, does anyone need a break? Or we'll just move into presentations and discussions, and then we'll go to executive. So, presentations and discussions, we've got Catherine County Fair Board.
Can I do a department report real quick?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, so I'm sorry. I skipped you and Mark. So anybody, any departments that are here, let's do your report.
I just want to say, I'm sorry. I know Mark saying, sit down, Becky.
He's like, dang it.
Okay, so, I'm the finance director, for those of you that need to know. My finance report is, it's gonna be a little off base, so I'm still holding my breath for SRS money. Hopefully that'll get here soon.
And it hasn't hit yet.
No, it has not hit yet. Deb has taken, hold of it and getting, we're reaching out to, Gabe Vasquez's office in because it was promised by the end of February and we have not got it. And there's another promise by the end of, by the middle of April.
We need to mention that whenever, if we get the meeting with Vasquez, that we have not received the funding and it was promised in February.
Yeah,
Yep.
and so we, and you know, we desperately need it, everybody knows we do. So we're waiting for that, however, we're working around it, we're, you know, juggling stuff to work around it. I want to say right now, so I've been working for this county for 11 years. And right now, in our office, I feel like we are sitting better than we've ever been sitting. We are getting stuff done. Luce, and she's come on board, she has jumped in, and we're all handling grant stuff, we're just all handling different stuff. We're all working together, Joe and all of us, and to the point where even in the treasurer's office, they've got working with Ty, doing the reconciliations, everything. I really feel like this next audit that we're going to be approaching, I really feel like there's gonna be a huge, improvement, yeah. So I just wanna put that out there, and that is because everybody is working together, and it's just, and staying focused, and just staying, you know, so I just wanted to put that out there, so. Anyway, that's
I
my
love
report.
that.
If I can interrupt, I'd like to give my support to that staff as well. They've been doing an absolutely amazing job that I haven't seen before, and we're getting a lot more done, even in all the smaller agencies in the county. It's been wonderful.
That's good. Okay, Mark, do you have a report for us?
That's
Since
short.
Becky called.
It's not gonna be real lengthy.
Okay.
So District 1, still blading on roads and stuff, but we do have a special project there on Graveyard Road, widening and raising the road up. And then District 2, they're working on Bursum Road right now, but they're gonna start a project on building a gap where they're gonna fix some curves and blind spots and this and that and other, and they'll be using iron wool. So District 3, They just finished a project at the end of Keller Canyon with Iron Wolf.
Wait a minute, you're,
Yes, sir.
you're moving Iron Wolf into District 2?
In District 2, yes, sir.
Are you really?
Yes.
I hate to see that happen.
Well, I mean, it can be moved back and forth.
Just calm yourself.
We
need
love
it.
that Iron Wolf in
Yeah.
District 3.
It can be shared.
Our speed limits have increased by 20% since we've had that.
So, yeah, so the Iron Wolf will be moving from Glenwood up to District 2 in a while. The solid waste is just finishing up a project of cleaning up metal at the Muggy-owned mine for an environmental company, and we provided the dumpsters and home for that. And we've really been busy on that, so that's my report.
And you should mention that's actually a revenuing
Yes,
generation
it is.
for the
Yes, it
county.
is.
I mean,
It's
that's,
just like a regular dumpster rental.
yeah, actually making money instead of spending it,
Well,
a little
Yes.
bit.
no, I'll say yes.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Mark. Scott, do you have anything you wanna say?
No.
Okay. There's no other departments in here.
I'm
Okay.
here, I'm here.
Okay, yes, Sherry.
And I want to say that our election, the filing was great. We had 14 people, and we're still kind of getting things finished with the CFIS and getting set up with the state, but otherwise, we have some people running. And it's not, it's not a lot, but we're a small county, so, but we are, of course, we just have to go to election school now and learn how to do it. But yeah, I think everybody's doing good. Everybody was great.
Okay. Thank you.
And Horse Mountain too, working with Horse Mountain and getting that polling site set up was good. Like, we really did. We found a spot, and I think that we can make it work. I really do. The people really liked it. It was good.
I think it just always boils down to like,
Talking.
just talk about it
Yeah.
and come up with a solution that everybody can live with
Yes.
instead of like fighting about it.
True.
Okay, so into the department reports, we're gonna move on to presentations and discussions. So item A is the Captain County Fair Board. So, Misty, come on up. Okay.
It's been busy.
I want that shirt.
You can sell those at the fair.
I thought it was fairly fitting. For those of you that can't see it, it says if you're offended, doesn't mean you're right. So, anyway, thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Deb. Despite any petition, you've been instrumental in a lot of helping us with a lot of this stuff. So I'll just give a quick update on the Fair Board. March 2nd, we had our Fair Board meeting in which we took the recommendation from the last commission meeting, and we, as a group, all those that had resigned weren't a part of it, which left all of us a very few small little number that managed to put in a whole new board, and we now have 9 members instead of 7, but all of them do reside either within the boundary of the county, or there are 2 of them on there that live within the school district. But, and there's no longer any spouses on the board, so it's all, there's a pretty good mix of us. Several of us don't have children, which is, I think, a really good asset to have on the board, because we don't have any biases. We're doing this for the sake of the community and the kids, and don't really have any skin in the game, so that's awesome. On March 8th, we sat for about 5.5 hours and wrote all of our new bylaws, all of our new fiduciary responsibilities policy, conflict of interest policy, code of ethics policy, narrative description of activities, and a chain of command. So therefore, we can get started with, once you guys have blessed that you think that the bylaws and all these documents are in good order, and that they are kind of, there's no legal problems with any of them, then we will move forward with filing our 501c3. We are also updated with the state now for our nonprofit status, so all of that is already current as far as the state filing goes. And so we're going to continue on with the with the federal and getting our whole separate entity really in place. So, is there any questions on that?
No, that just sounds awesome.
It
Sounds
sounds
like you guys, it
amazing.
sounds like you've been busy and,
Oh,
and righting the ship.
yes. So, now the next thing that I'd like to move on to is the scales. I am presenting to you, there's some quotes that I gave. I can get updated quotes because I know that these were a few months ago. We had started it kind of as the fair board before the whole dismantling and debacle that happened there. But anyway, the scales for our current fair, I don't know if anybody's been down there and used them. I think that they were designed for little 800-pound Herefords. I don't think that they were made for these 1,300-pound steers that we show today, because we have to pretty much, it sometimes takes two people to physically, just shove them things in there, and then they're popping out the back.
it's wooden.
People get hit by the gates because they just, the gates won't latch. We've tried to do some work on them, but just the way that the cage is built, there's not really a way to modify those latches to where they're right. Not only that, when you read the scale measuring, then you have to have somebody stand over with a flashlight in order to see, which to me creates a pretty inaccurate reading. And because we are doing these legal for trade, I mean, we're talking 20 pounds could make or break a kid either making weight, not making weight.
Right.
The hog scale is all that they do with the hogs is they bring in one that has been bounced around in the back of a pickup for a long time, and we've had complaints from kids that have said it's as much as 20 pounds off from what they weighed their pigs 2 or 3 days before the fair, and then they come here and it's 20 pounds difference. So what we're trying to move forward with is a digital scale in which all animals would go across, instead of having the pigs way over here and the steers and goats and lambs way over here in the little contraption that I like to call it, because it's a tough one. So I've received 3 different quotes. One of them was just basically kind of, I think, shooting me something to get me out of their hair, because I'd called 3 or 4 times. The other 2 actually seem to be more legitimate quotes. The Rusty's Way scale, it's a company out of Lubbock. Now I can speak personally for their quality because the ranch just replaced their scale box. And it had to be custom built because our scale was at the ranch was put in 1956, and so precision, I guess, wasn't a big thing back then, because our whole box was definitely not square. So, I mean, we had to send them dimensions and everything like that, and they actually built it specifically for our box, and they built it out of square. So it was, I mean, kind of a neat process, and again, I can speak to their quality, but of course, we wouldn't have to have anything quite that intricate, because we would just be pouring a level pad and installation of a new scale box that would come. Theirs is a little more expensive just because we would have to figure out how to go get it from Lubbock. Either somebody would have to go and pick it up, or we'd have to pay a freight company or whatever to get it delivered here. So with that being said, the Prime Scales one is the most cost-effective one, because they offer free shipping, which I think is kind of strange. But anyway, it's a Cardinal. It's the Cardinal livestock system. The other thing I like about that one is that it's got sliding gates instead of swinging gates, and sliding gates just takes up less room. You know, I mean, we can build our alleyways and everything like that for the hogs to get to it, and without having to account for a swinging gate. So, anyway, that's our proposition, is because it would be a permanent fixture on the fairgrounds, and that's county property. We were hoping that there'd be some county funds to hopefully pay for that as an upgrade.
Did any of them let you know, how long is it gonna take to get here? Will it be here by fair?
Yes, it could be, if I get on it pretty quick. The Prime Scales one, that's a company out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and they said it can take up to, 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks it can be here. So,
Becky?
Can I ask how much the quotes are, please?
The prime scales one is going to be around 13,000.
That was the cheapest bid?
Well, there's, again, that one that kind of brushed me off said 6,800, but they never really provided me any details on that one. So I could look into that one, but I think,
And there was another one for 12,000 that I saw.
yeah, well, that was, it looks cheap to begin with, but like I say, that's also the one that we would have to go to Lubbock to
Right.
get. So, I mean, the price is gonna go up from there. So yes, the Rusty's one is also right around that $12,000 mark, but we would also, it doesn't provide any kind of shipping or getting it here.
Okay, so, question for Becky. I know a lot of our seed funding's out and we're waiting for it to come back. Where would we be at on?
So I'm very happy to report. I have some good news. I was researching it out, and I actually have a fairground account, and it has about $15,000 in it that's available.
So, but, this item is actually in our action.
Yeah.
items.
Yes,
So
so
we'll probably want to address some of this when we get to action.
Okay, all right. All right, well, perfect. Well, thank you, Misty, and
Misty, if I can get your number to send you, cause Rafter G out of right south of Las Cruces there at Anthony, I know that they do digital scales and stuff like that, and that's fairly close, and
Okay.
I seen one that Tommy Padilla had up there, and I don't know if they would have
So-
something.
are they, and I know they have to be, are all these certifiable? 'Cause we
So
have to have it.
that was part of the
Yeah.
thing there, so when you just do kind of a quick online search, you're gonna find that there's really cheap options for
But they're not
scales,
certifiable.
but they're not certifiable. I think there's one of the things is it has to have a composite floor in order to be digital and certifiable,
Yeah.
and then you have to have the concrete underneath of it, I believe it has to be surveyed to verify that it's level concrete. So the concrete, that's gonna be maybe a little bit more of a project, because like I say, it's got to be pretty precise
Yeah.
concrete. It can't be without, you know what I mean? Because that's, you know, with all your other scales, there's different adjustments that you can make. With digital, there is no adjustments, it's just, is what it is. So, I will, yes, 575. 574-8849.
Okay, thank you.
And just so you know, Hugh Handyman, Cliff does, the laser. He does the laser one, so to make sure I can give you his information.
Okay, perfect. I will reach out to you. Because that's gonna be our biggest adversary. You know, Rusty's Way does have an option. I mean, and they said for like, it was gonna be like $7,000 for them to come, and they would do the concrete,
Yeah.
and but
It's
that's,
very reasonable.
but that's, I kinda figured we'd be able to do it way cheaper than $7,000.
Well, if this guy in Cruces, that's a lot closer to, I don't know, we'll,
Yeah, well, like I said, if we can go with the prime scale one, then to me, that one's almost, I mean, the guy that I've talked to him on several different occasions, he's checked back several times, so I mean, like, he wants our business too, which I thought was, I always like that whenever they do that too.
all right.
Any questions?
No, I guess, so have you sent the paperwork to Adrian to look at on your, make sure you guys are compliant for your
I
seal,
sent it to
or
Deb.
They forwarded it on, yeah.
Adrian's like, what?
I don't know that I have it, but sometimes I delete emails when I shouldn't, so if you forward.
I will make sure that you have a,
Okay, and I can send it too, again, if need be, I have it literally right here, so,
All right, well, thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on all the work you've been able to do and get done.
Thank you. It's been rough.
So, we'll move on For item B, commission meetings in communities around the county. And I'd kind of like to ask Adrian what he thinks of that.
Certainly. They should all be in Downell, that's what I think. But that said, so basically, there's a very specific and restrictive law regarding having meetings in other places other than the county, the designated county seat, which is, in our case, is reserve, and that's 438(8). First of all, it does say we only have to have quarterly meetings. You don't have to have one every month, but historically, we do have one every month. Wow. But that said, what the law does state is that you have to have at least, the quarterly meetings in reserve, and then you can have other meetings in the largest municipality, which doesn't really apply here. And I think that might be for basically, they probably wrote that for Lincoln County, because everyone wanted to stay in Ruidoso instead of go down to Carasoso, but I don't know. But that said, the law specifically says you can have your regular commission meetings in those two manners, which really means reserve. And then you're allowed to have meetings of specific local concern in the communities where they are, that affect, where the local concerns affected. However, the law does not grant us the ability to have our regular meetings in other places other than basically reserve in this situation. So you can have meetings of special concern, but you can't have your regular meetings there. Why the law is written like that, I mean, I guess I would assume it's because there's a designated county seat and officers are supposed to be there, but I really don't know other than that. So we are limited in that situation.
Okay. Any more discussion on that?
I guess we could, as long as we have our regular quarterly meetings, the 2 months in between could be specialty meetings, right?
You could have special meetings, but that said, you cannot address all of the items that you would address in somewhere other than the county seat.
Oh, you'd have
Right,
to.
like all of our action items.
All of our action, it would have to be
Got it.
something that's specific to that community.
Got it.
All action items really have to be done in the county seat or the other large municipality, which there is no such thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right, well, that being said,
It was a good thought.
it was a good thought.
Welcome to reserve.
Yeah. And so we're gonna move into executive session. Motion and roll call vote to recess regular session and go into executive session. And that pursuant to New Mexico State Statute Section 10-15-1, only the following matters will be discussed in closed session. We got pending or threatening litigations, personnel, county manager, real estate, fairgrounds, Mingus Lane, Luna Community Center.
Okay. I'll motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's true. Roll call, District 1,
Buster Green, aye.
District 2,
Audrey McQueen, aye.
District 3.
Heading forward, yes.
Okay, we are now in executive.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
It's 10:56.
10:56.
I would check with the auditor.
Scan check.
Ready? All right, need a motion and vote to reconvene regular session.
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion and roll call vote that matters discussed in closed session were limited to those specified in motion for closure, and that no final action was taken as per New Mexico statutes, section 10-15-1.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
District 1,
Buster Green, no action taken.
District 2,
Audrey McQueen, no action taken.
District 3.
Heading forward, no action taken.
Okay, we are out of executive session. So. We're at number 10 on action items. Consideration of emergency ordinance 01-226 prohibiting open burning in Catherine County. Do I have a motion?
I motion that we pass this ordinance banning. Do I need to be any more in detail?
No.
Okay.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Aye.
Opposed.
All right.
And Madam Chair, it'll be important that
I should have given you
as soon as this is filed with the clerk's office, that the manager provides the sheriff the filed ordinance.
Okay. All right, so we got that. All right, item B, approval of memorandum of understanding office with the Secretary of State for primary election funding.
Yes, that's on us. We have it's an agreement where they pay for our election. But I have to have the commission sign it.
I motion that we approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approval of an amended joint powers agreement establishing the county livestock loss authority with Sierra and Socorro counties to include the gray wolf.
So, Madam Chair, this is being brought forward to you at the request of the CLLA. They want to, because the gray wolf is coming down into New Mexico from Colorado, so they want to be able to also pay on possible depredations from gray wolf. Currently, the way our JPA is written, that is not, it is specific to Mexican wolf, so that is the change within this JPA.
I motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, this would have to be approved by the two other counties and then DFA to go into effect.
Yes.
Okay. So item D, approval of purchasing scales for the fairgrounds.
I motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Are we determining which set of scales?
I think we'll still wait on a couple of quotes if I can just get a dollar amount approved for it.
The amount available is 15,000?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And when you get those 3 quotes, can you just shoot them to me, or, and then I'll fill out the paperwork that needs to be filled out?
Like the PO, because I was gonna work with Lou on it.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
because she'd already offered, but I mean, I can do it.
Oh, no,
through
that's,
PO.
that's fine. She beats me to everything, it's fine.
I'll make a motion, we approve the purchasing of the scales for the fairgrounds not to exceed 15,000.
Do I have a
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of Catherine County Commission editorial on wolves.
So this one is mine. We came up with a editorial that was just gonna be signed by the CLLA, but it was determined that it would carry more muscle and leverage if it was signed by the full commission. So I brought it in front of the commission for approval.
Does it
I
cost-
motion to approve.
Hold on,
Sorry.
does it cost money?
No.
Okay. All right.
I like those kind of questions.
So I've got a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There's hope.
Approval of professional services agreement with UKG Payroll Company.
Okay, so at the last one, when I presented initially, you did have a couple of questions for me. I do have an answer to those questions. First off, I have 2 contracts in the packet. One is a 12-month and one is a 36-month. Because one of your questions was, can we commit to a shorter time frame? The main thing to know is that for a shorter time frame, at contract renewal, you'd be looking at an 8% uplift immediately. In their experience, the cities that they have contracted with, usually immediately after such a contract expires, try to get the longest one they can get after that so they don't have the uplift again. As far as the variance month to month beyond the quote, so it's called the PEPM. It's price per employee per month, which is $6.80. So this quote was based on 80, which is our standard neighborhood. It does not factor in the variance for the stipends that I pay for fire and EMS. So that would factor in, just for example, 20 more employees would add $136 a month. If they're not being active, I can actually make them inactive in the system while still being existing and not terminated out of the system, and then that charge would not apply to them.
If I remember right, this overall contract was saving us money.
It's a little bit more than what we currently pay, but for much more comprehensive and efficient.
It was your
services.
time that it was saving.
Because the current one is incredibly inefficient.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Yeah.
And just for example, yesterday I had to do payroll twice.
Okay.
Because without telling me, they decided to do a migration to a new platform for inputting payroll services and called me while I was already had begun doing payroll in the old system and said, hey, let me tell you about you're live. We got to get you in this new one right now. Walked me through it, got all the way through it, only for the migration to have glitches in it and have to go enter it again in the old system.
Okay.
It was great. I did verify with them also that my reporting, everything that I had any additional concerns and wanted to see on paper would all be aligned within the transition process. Everything I'm looking to be included so that we don't lose any services is a part of it.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
A motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did we approve which one, timeframe? The 1 year or the?
It
3
wasn't
year?
asking for a time frame, was it?
Well, I had the 2 contracts in there. The initial contract was for 3 years. Y'all were asking if a shorter time frame was an option.
Well, we were just wondering if there was a exit ramp.
Yes,
Basically,
and basically a financial budget exit ramp.
Yeah,
But we also have the option of a shorter time frame, but we have the uplift with that. So I would like the 3 year,
Well, but the uplift is.
8%. It's an
Eight.
increase in price of 8%. It's their standard.
You wouldn't
contract.
like to see that what they're promising, they can actually
Right.
supply us
I
with?
can tell you that I have actually encountered people who, as employees, have used it. They've been very happy. I've heard nothing negative from anybody. But
So I would ask Adrian, is there the ability to exit either, the 3-year contract at an earlier term?
I think there's, if I'm not mistaken, I think, I'll double check, but I believe that there is a termination provision,
yes,
under this UKG contract. Because we had them do changes. The master services agreement, and it says,
it's just
yeah, if there's a termination clause, then I'll go with the 3 year.
The term actually says 5 years, not 3. This agreement shall be in a term for 5 years.
Did I get you the wrong? I thought we had a 36 and a 12 in there. 36 months, isn't that 3 years?
I don't know if I'm looking at the correct contract then.
I can definitely go make sure I have the right one for the 3 years. The 5 is another of their fixed options.
No, it wasn't an option, it said that's what the term of the contract is.
That was just I asked for an initial contract, and that was their standard, here's what we like to offer.
Oh, so we're not seeing the contract that
So
Adrian negotiated?
Well,
I'm not sure if you are, but there's a termination for appropriations, so you can non-appropriate the funds. And there's a termination for cause if they're not performing.
So page 116 in your packet is the 3-year contract Joe's in reference.
No, I'm on 132, so maybe that's the problem.
And because there's a change in the contract that it can't exceed 4 years because that, we can't enter into a professional services agreement longer than 4 years.
Well, I don't know what to say. What's in the packet says 5 years. So, apparently what's in the packet is not the correct contract.
So I would motion to, I mean, if you wanna do 3 years, motion to approve the correct contract with 36 months.
And you're happy with the termination clause?
I mean, I would like to do it for convenience, but, you know, it's only for cause.
Okay. You want a motion?
So there was a motion on the table, right?
You already made a motion on
We've
Oh.
gotta, so how do we take that off? Can we
it.
amend
Can
it?
he just amend?
Just amend the motion, yeah, just.
If
I
you amend
motion that
the
we approve for 3 years.
Okay,
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So approval of the Assistant County Manager, Grant Manager job description. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion, did you want to have comment?
So I just wanted to walk you guys through that. I had sent this to you previously. I have had discussions with each of you regarding this. So this is a joint position. The county would be saving approximately $48,000 by joining this position. And the county did have an assistant county manager grant administrator back in roughly, I wanna say 2012, 14, Becky? Was that about the time frame?
Even sooner, yeah, it was
More recent
more
than that?
recent than that.
Okay. And so this is basically re-aliving that existing position, but also saving the county a substantial amount of money.
You want a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to say something, and I fully support this grant, because this grant person will be in-house here. If we have questions, we can go right straight to them and figure it out, and it'll relieve these guys that are working up there of a lot of their duties, you know, because if there's a grant question, they gotta stop what they're doing, and then, you know, run into the grant deal, and anyway, that's what I think.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the position as presented. Was the salary range presented in the position?
So the salary range, I put, it's down at 75, but I've actually proposed a range between 70 to 75.
With salary range between 70 and 75?
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of the grant project manager job description.
Can
So
I-
this position was previously brought to the commission, and the goal was with the redesign of the grant manager, grant administrator, and assistant county manager, we are hoping that the grant project manager could work underneath the grant administrator as a casual. So that's what this proposal is for.
Can I motion we table this position for the time being?
Yes, do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of contract with Sandoval Construction to complete build of Camado Community Center facility for grant.
So this is huge, Patty, huh? Yes. So we have, what I did is I just found a whole bunch of people on CES and I just sent a whole bunch of emails. Sandoval responded and they are on CES contract, which is for our procurement aspects, makes life so much easier. We don't have to go out and get 3 quotes, and actually this would be a bid. So their proposal is all encompassing from the plumbing and foundation to site preparation to actual erecting the building we already have on site. So they're basically gonna be a one-stop shop just to get the building erected. We will have to find somebody to complete the interior of the building.
Okay, but this will have all the electrical done and everything prepped.
So the
So then
plumbing
we
will
just-
be stubbed up. And so the fixtures won't be there because we still need to do the architectural design and things like that. Patty already knows what appliances she wants, we already know the drain sizes, all of that information has already been determined. We already know what appliances, what she's putting in there, where they have to go, grease separators, all that kind of stuff. But the actual fixtures will not be installed, nor the wiring throughout the building. So it'll be stubbed to the building.
And so we have no other quotes besides this one?
Correct,
We have no other bids?
correct.
Buster, could I say something?
No,
on
I'm-
this? No?
Yep, go ahead.
We have not been able to
Sorry.
get a response from
Right.
anybody on this, and we have reached out to multiple different companies, and we're just not getting a response on anybody that's willing to do it for anything under $1.5 million.
So what was the guy's name in Pytown? And he never would respond? You know, the guy that puts up metal buildings
He
there?
refuses to do work with the county. I approached him first.
Why?
He did not give me a reason.
He hates us.
There you go.
Oh, I didn't know of any.
Well,
What was his name?
Archie Archuleta,
Oh my God.
I reached out. I'm sorry.
I'll hold it down, you guys go on.
I reached out to all the local people, and we reached out to any name that anybody could give us. We
Okay.
reached out to for the last
this is
year.
good, this is good, solid.
Yeah,
Okay, do I have a motion?
a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approval of contract with TLC to install walk-in freezer at Glenwood Senior Center ALTSD grant A22G5307.
I can speak on that one. We're putting in a walk-in freezer in Glenwood. We have the grant's gonna expire in June, so that was part of the scope of work that we've been working on down there, along with an emergency generator. And TLC is on state contracts, so we were able to use them.
Okay, and so with this being grants, is there money?
So, way back in the day, when Lou was still the seniors, I have set the senior center up with their own account, and, they have $100,000 in there to use towards their grants. And even when Lou was working for the seniors, she knows that they have to stay within that 100,000 until they get reimbursed, and then they go on to the next one and things like that, so,
That
yeah.
money's there.
They have, yes, they have the money in there.
So, not matter.
So
Okay.
with this being a walk-in freezer, will that be able to double if we go into cryogenics or whatever? Sorry,
I don't think it's that cold.
don't put that on record.
It's already recorded.
I was just
You're
waiting
gonna
for
ask him
that.
if it's gonna hold our heads?
Okay,
Here's the commissioners.
do I have a motion?
I motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of agreement 411 equipment to purchase pumper tender for Luna Fire Department.
So this is, Luna Fire Department, they have a grant for $600,000 that they got. And so this is basically because it's over the $20,000 threshold. So we're just looking for approval, they have the money to purchase it.
I motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Used to be the fire tender was human.
Consideration of resolution 45-2026 budget adjustment number 7 for fiscal year 2025 to 26.
Standard.
A motion we approve.
Hold on,
I'll
I want
second.
details, Becky.
Oh, no.
I'm joking.
I'm taking the fifth.
What, no, but
No.
really, so what is it? Just a step.
It's just, it's the standard department budget adjustments. That's why earlier when I was talking, I'm like, no, you guys cannot go quarterly, because I have to do these things monthly.
Look at the price on
I know, that's crazy. Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
that. A human would be cheaper.
Consideration of resolution 46-2026, 2026 certified yearly mileage for Catron County maintained roads.
Is this where we should add a road that was clerically left off?
And it has been added to the document you will be signing.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, so. Consideration of resolution 47-2026 approving the First Amendment to the Transportation Project Fund Grant Agreement LP 60044 York Ranch Road and accompanying approvals.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Commissioner, my name is Vince Pena with Stantec Consultants. What we've done is we work with the county and with the NMDOT District 6 local governments to be able to extend grant LP 60044 TPF, which is a transportation project funding. There's $2.3 million that has been appropriated for this project for York Ranch Road. It's the 10-mile roadway and drainage improvements. Now, the original grant agreement called for a termination date of June 30th of 2026. However, with the extension, what that would do is if it's approved by the county commission, then that would be sent to NMDOT, and NMDOT has already amended the grant agreement for another year to June 30th of 2027. That allows for the design and for the construction of York Ranch Road and to be able to expend the funds for not till another year. So that's what that entails.
Okay, it's just the time extension.
That's all it is, just a time extension. As far as the funding, it's $2.3 million, which 95% is NMDOT share, and the 5% is Catherine County, which is $115,000.
Okay.
And I believe this also includes accompanying documents, which is the contract extension as well.
Yeah.
So that'd be both with Stantec.
Do you have any comment, Mark?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if then Trent Doolittle, our senior project manager for Las Cruces office, he can present the MSA extension, just real briefly.
Thank you, Vince. Commissioners, my name's Trent Doolittle. I'm the transportation lead for Stantec here in New Mexico. So as part of the original MSA related to RFP 2023-11-01.1, which is the state and local MSA, we're requesting the second extension for 1 year, which will extend it from February 14, 2026 to February 14, 2027. That is for the general MSA overall with Rio County.
And remind me, isn't the our portion of the payment responsibility, isn't it over a certain time period, Deb? Do you remember?
I don't believe so. Becky, I did want to confirm that the, part of the reason we're requesting the extension is the SRS fees on this, correct?
Yes.
Or lack of the SRS fees.
But you know, our share is 115,000.
Yeah, but I thought that was shared over like 20 years or something.
I don't think so.
No,
No?
this isn't a loan or in-kind
No,
match.
this is just
a
our,
direct
this is our
payment.
cash match,
Okay.
yeah.
Mark, so quick question. Is this on the 10 miles that's already been worked on, just to extend that to complete it? Or is this a separate 10 miles?
This is the first 10 miles.
First.
So this is what's been being worked on right now?
We put in culverts and stuff.
Right.
like that, Yeah.
Okay,
And now the earthwork is to be done and some structures for the bigger culverts, the cement structure.
right,
That's what this is.
okay. So you just suggest that we
Can't
approve?
give them away.
Yep,
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, approval of checks and registers.
I motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of payroll.
I motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now going down to action items. Direction to staff regarding the Mingus Lane easement.
I motion we table.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Direction to staff regarding fairgrounds agreement.
I think that's a no action. I motion no action.
Second.
Do you need the motion, no action?
We'll just take no action.
Strike that.
So that's just keeping the current
Just table it?
fairgrounds rate?
No, no action.
No action.
So,
Yeah, that's not making any changes.
Okay,
yeah,
It's,
so it doesn't need to be renewed or anything like that with a new I mean, nothing? Okay.
All right, next commission meeting, April 8th, 2026, 9 a.m. at the Fire Admin Building located at 3 Mountaineer Street in Reserve. This meeting is adjourned.
Wait, really fast, you had originally requested possibly April 14th because, this district supervisor from the Reserve Ranger.
We have election school the 13th through the
Can't be
15th.
here.
Okay, well, I was just reminding you,
With the meeting with Daisy.
yeah, unless we need to do that, not in a commission meeting, I didn't really know
Sorry.
the purpose of the meeting.
can we change it to a Thursday instead of a Wednesday?
So like, I think we don't have to have the whole commission present for that, so,
Okay.
next commission meeting, April 8th, and this meeting's adjourned.
Guaranteed to be shorter.
But we got a lot done. Do we have a signed copy of that?